An old class beauty randomly video calls classmates from 10 years ago just to see how they turned out. She never expected the old class genius to now be out of shape watching kids at home. And the class heartthrob she used to be close with had turned into someone else entirely. She posted these classmate reunions online and gained over 1 million followers overnight. When she went to pick her next classmate, viewers wanted her to call the guy on the far left of the yearbook photo, who kept his head down. He was an average-looking guy with thick bangs covering half his face. The class beauty glanced over instinctively, but couldn't place who he was. In her memory, this guy barely said a word. He always walked around with his head down, basically a total nobody. She flipped through the yearbook and finally remembered the name Ethan. As she introduced him, the live chat exploded with comments. Ever notice how every class has a few people you just can't remember the name of? People only remember the ones with personality or good grades, guys like this. Won't amount to much, even after graduating, who says being a loner means you're bad with people. Seeing the chat get heated, the class beauty Lily rushed to smooth things over. She decided to call this classmate she barely remembered. Meanwhile, I was living it up, riding my scooter, waiting at a red light when I happened to run into an old classmate in a fancy car. She politely asked for my number and generously said we should hang out sometime. Not long after that, I got a call from an unknown number. "Hi, is this Ethan?" The class beauty thought for a second, then added, "It's Lily, we were classmates in high school." I thought about it for a moment, and finally remembered she was the old class beauty. So I asked, "Haven't heard from you in forever. Don't tell me you're getting married. If you're asking for money, forget it." That caught Lily off guard for a second before she replied, "I'm not getting married and I don't need money." Before she could finish, I jumped back in. "Oh, I get it, send me the link. I'll help you get a discount. I'm a new user." The chat burst out laughing. This Ethan guy is hilarious. But honestly, he's not wrong when someone you haven't talked to in years suddenly reaches out. It's usually because they're getting married, or they need money. Lily saw the comments rolling in, and it clicked. "Yeah, that does track." She quickly explained, "Ethan, you got it wrong. I'm doing a live stream thing, where I meet up with old classmates to chat. Do you have time? I'll wait for your answer," since she put it that way. I figured, why not? Sure. "I'm free next Saturday, I'll hit you up then." But right then, a sharp-tongued woman started yelling at me out of nowhere. "Do you know what time it is? This delivery food is stone cold. Can you even eat it now?" Hearing that through the phone, Lily froze up. The viewers froze too, so the guy our girl Lily is meeting turns out to be a delivery driver. Let's switch it up next episode. What's even interesting about meeting a delivery guy? I wanted to see an underdog story. But I guess reality is just harsh, like that most people are doomed to be average. Reading the comments, Lily suddenly felt a knot in her stomach. She knew she'd lose some viewers over this, but she didn't really care. She forced a smile since I already made plans with Ethan. I'm not backing out, besides I don't think any job is beneath anyone. Delivering food isn't something to look down on. Earning a living with your own two hands deserves respect. That comment actually won her a lot of praise in the chat. Saturday rolled around and Lily had already gone live. Viewers were hyped ever since finding out her classmate delivers food. I kept picturing this guy showing up all fancy, riding his scooter to pick up Lily, watching those comments. Lily flinched a little. That same image popped into her head. She shivered a bit. What's there to worry about? A scooter is just a way to get around, she told herself. Soon she arrived at the agreed spot. Right at that moment, Lily saw a fancy car slowly pulling up toward her, and what shocked her more was that it actually stopped right in front of her. Then the door slowly opened, and out stepped an average-looking guy, smiling as he looked at her. Lily furrowed her brow. She dealt with plenty of guys hitting on her before, and usually turned them down politely. I smiled at her confused expression. "You're Lily, right? Did you forget we agreed to meet today?" Lily was stunned, and the chat was full of disbelief. "No way. There's no way a delivery driver could afford a car worth that much. This car's gotta be rented. You're right. This car is rented from my place." Lily wasn't sure herself if it was rented, but seeing a fan claim it was from their rental place, she had no more doubts. Little did she know that fan was just making it up. She started to speak. "Ethan, this car," seeing Lily's reaction. I was a little confused. What's wrong with the car? I was in a rush, so I just grabbed whatever was in the garage. The chat went off, no idea why, but I already don't like this Ethan guy. He's clearly just a delivery driver pretending to be rich to impress our girl. Red flag confirmed. Lily just ignored those nasty comments and looked at me instead, wondering if she should tell him straight up that his identity had already been exposed, but she figured he was just trying to impress her by renting a fancy car, so she let it go. Meanwhile, I had no clue and just smiled and suggested, "It's almost noon. How about we grab lunch somewhere and catch up in the car?" Lily asked about my current job. I casually admitted I'm freelance, which actually put her at ease. She was worried it suddenly claimed to be some CEO of a big company, which would make everyone laugh at her. Then we talked about relationships. I told her I'm already married with kids, and Lily went quiet for a moment. She was thinking the same thing as the viewers. He already has a family, yet still rented a fancy car just to save face on this date. Then she asked about my wife. I sighed and said she's even busier than I am at work. We don't need her income, but I support her working anyway. Hearing that, Lily nearly choked on her own spit. The chat went wild, roasting me. This guy's such a red flag. Still pretending they don't need the money while making his wife work, and saying it like he's so noble about it. What a joke. But at that point, I couldn't help smiling like a proud dad. While we waited at a red light, I pulled up photos of my kids on my phone. Lily took the phone without thinking and froze. She asked in disbelief, "Wait, these are actually your kids?" I gave her a wry smile. "Yeah, they're definitely mine. Can't you tell they look just like me?" Lily realized her question came off wrong and immediately apologized. "Sorry. I was just a little surprised." That moment made the chat even more curious. Everyone wanted to see the photos too, and after I said it was fine, Lily pointed her camera at the photo and the chat blew up again. "Oh my god, they're adorable. They probably look like their mom. Wait, have you guys noticed? These two kids kinda look like the pop star. Chloe. Could their mom actually be Chloe?" No way, even if she went blind. There's no way a pop star would marry a delivery driver reading the comments. Lily paused for a second, then quickly zoomed in on the photo. This basically looks like a mini version of Chloe. Suddenly, I asked with a grin, "Want to come see my kids in person?" The viewers wanted to see them too. Little superstar. Hearing that I smiled and nodded, we're picking them up from daycare at 2 this afternoon. We can go together. Lily got kind of excited. After all, Chloe was basically her idol. Getting to see a mini version of her made her genuinely happy. Soon the car pulled into an old restaurant parking lot. After getting out, Lily was stunned. This restaurant was a 100-year-old establishment. Eating here for one meal could easily cost a normal person's monthly salary. Lily shook her head quickly. "This place is way too expensive. Let's go somewhere else," I waved it off. "It's fine, we've been old classmates forever. No need to be so polite about it. Besides, I've never really cared much about money. Making money is basically effortless for me," but that comment made the viewers think I was just showing off. This Ethan guy is so ridiculous. Does he not know his own worth? And he's bringing our girl to some fancy place even though Lily didn't see the comments. She knew people were probably laughing at me. She really wanted to tell me that his real job had already been exposed. Just stop bragging. But she didn't want to embarrass me, seeing her suddenly go quiet. I smiled and said, "All right then. Let me show you both a quick way to make money." After saying that, I drove around the parking lot. When I spotted a $1 million sports car backing into a spot, I hit the gas. And in a flash, parked right behind it, Lily and the viewers were both confused. There were plenty of open spots. Why fight over this one? Just as viewers thought I was trying to scam someone, what I did next left them speechless. The sports car owner started cursing angrily, so I pulled out $800 and held it out to him. "I don't feel like looking for another spot. Here's $800. Take it and go find another one. Call it a favor between friends." But the sports car owner frowned and pulled out his wallet. Without even looking, he grabbed a handful of cash and threw it at me, then sneered, "Forget the spot, man. I was flexing before you were even born." Meanwhile, the woman in the passenger seat cooed. "Babe, that was so manly just now," as the sports car owner drove off tossing cash like it was nothing. The viewers were wide-eyed shouting, "No way," and Lily looked completely stunned. Right then I picked up the cash off the ground and said with a laugh, "That guy was pretty loaded. $6,500 lunch is covered today." Lily's mouth twitched. She'd never be able to pull something like that off. Meanwhile, everyone in the chat was shocked. No way in just a few minutes. He made over $6 grand. This money is way too easy to make. I just tried this myself and it actually works. Made $100 grand, but now I'm in the hospital. The other driver beat me up not long after. I waved the cash and walked into the restaurant with Lily. She glanced at the menu, pretty pricey. She sighed to herself, figuring I was just trying to save face by picking the expensive stuff. But seeing how relaxed I was, it threw her off a bit. Like maybe I actually came here often. Just then I shook my head and said, "Lily, there's been something I've wanted to say the whole ride. I don't watch live streams much, but honestly yours isn't great. It's kind of boring, not that interesting." Hearing that, Lily froze. Why would you say that? She felt a bit offended. "I'm a top-tier streamer, you know." I shook my head and explained my thinking. This whole time we've barely interacted. Sure, we're just regular classmates, but this is a live stream. Even strangers should act familiar for the audience. Lily's expression got awkward. She obviously knew that already. But the problem was she didn't dare ask. Meanwhile, the chat reacted even harder. A delivery guy pretending to be rich? How are we supposed to act natural with him? Our girl not engaging is her being nice. If it were me, I'd say it to his face. You're a delivery driver playing pretend and you want a live stream out of it. Lily saw the comments and froze for a second. She couldn't help glancing at me, thinking about exposing him. No. If I told him the truth right now, he'd be mortified. But if she didn't say anything, he'd just keep getting mocked by everyone. Right as Lily was torn, a message popped up. It was from her best friend and business partner, Sophie. "Hey, I know what you're thinking. Don't tell him the truth yet. This is the peak engagement moment right now, once the stream ends. We should invite him to join our agency. I guarantee he'll blow up as an influencer. He'd make way more than delivering food to Sophie. Ethan is actually talented. Forget the whole pretending thing. Just that parking spot money trick alone, that's not something a normal person would think of." Seeing that message, Lily felt a weight lift off her shoulders. I smiled and shook my head. "Are people making fun of me for using you again?" Lily's eyes went wide. "How did you know?" I smiled again and said, "How could I not know? Right when we first met, people were already saying my car was rented. Honestly, you shouldn't worry too much about what people say online. Just know that people who aren't doing well in real life are the ones who show their worst side online, spouting whatever opinions they want. It's really just jealousy talking, laughing at what they don't have, and hating what others do. It's human nature. And as a streamer, you should really let it go more." Hearing that, Lily was completely dumbfounded. Meanwhile, the chat was cracking up. "This is hilarious. Who does he think he is? Some kind of expert or professor lecturing everyone? He's a delivery driver. Why would we be jealous of him? Nothing worse than a broke guy still trying to act important. If I didn't know the truth, I might be actually thought he was successful. Little did I know that my comment had upset a bunch of viewers." I looked at Lily and smiled. We're old classmates catching up. Forget what everyone else thinks. Relax. Ask me whatever you want. Don't hold back. It was right then that Lily suddenly realized this whole time I'd been the one leading the conversation and even teaching viewers how to make quick money. Thinking about it, she felt a little embarrassed. She took a deep breath, clearing her scattered thoughts, and asked seriously, "Ethan, I remember senior year you were absent a lot, and didn't you skip the college entrance exam?" I smiled and nodded, "Yeah. That year, some of our family's land got seized for development. We got a few $100 million in compensation." Hearing that, the chat exploded with laughter. "This is hilarious. Only someone who never finished high school would say something like that." Can you even put a price on knowledge? Money runs out eventually. But knowledge just keeps flowing like a spring. I don't think being uneducated is fine either. So here's a question. If you had to choose between $100 million and an acceptance letter to Harvard, which would you pick? Lily ignored the chat entirely and just looked at me puzzled. So you think just because you got a huge payout, you can just quit school? I said casually, the whole point of college is learning new things. But honestly, there's nothing left for me to learn there. Right then, Lily had one thought. You're the one who said I could ask anything. But there's a limit to how much you can just say sure enough. The chat was about to explode again meanwhile. Viewers had already turned me into a meme, with captions like nothing left to learn in college. Making money is effortless. Our land compensation was only a few $100 million. Somehow my meme seemed to spread like it had a life of its own. Going viral instantly, Lily gave me a complicated look. She regretted not telling me from the start that my identity was already exposed. Now I'm getting more into this act even though the food here was amazing. She had zero appetite left. She took a deep breath and looked at me. Ethan, you said your family's land got seized. And you got a few $100 million in compensation, but from what I know, except in a few cities, most rural land compensation isn't that high, right? Hearing that, the chat lit up instantly. Good question, Lily, straight to the point. Let's see him talk his way out of this one. But I wasn't worried at all. I thought you were asking something serious. Sure, most rural compensation isn't high, but our land was a special case, so we got more. Hearing that the chat wasn't buying it. Lily, don't believe him if he actually got that much. He'll live stream eating a bug no matter how special the land is. If it's rural land, forget hundreds of millions. You wouldn't even get a few 100,000. Lily didn't care about the comments. She was just disappointed in what I said. She never expected someone so genuine could turn so full of himself after growing up. She looked serious and gave me a whole lecture. I didn't want to explain too much, so I changed the subject, joking around like old times. Lily still loves lecturing people. Then I asked, you know why I agreed to meet up? Why? Lily asked without thinking. She didn't think much of the question, since guys almost always said yes. The success rate was basically above 90%. She had no idea why. Seeing her confused, I smiled softly. Back in high school, I was pretty introverted, not great with words. So nobody ever really talked to me, but you always asked about my grades and pushed me to study harder. Maybe to you, that was nothing, but to me, it made me feel like I actually mattered. Hearing that, Lily blushed a little, looking at me. I'm sure plenty of people remember you. She wasn't blushing because of what I said. Actually, the reason she used to check on me was because of class rankings. But she definitely was going to admit that. Meanwhile, on a film set nearby, crew members were all watching a stunning woman in period costume. Her features were elegant and refined, every movement graceful. And this woman was none other than Chloe, the nation's sweetheart. People who didn't know her thought she was cold and aloof, but those who knew her knew she was actually warm. Lots of people wondered who could ever marry someone like her. Inside the industry or out, Chloe's husband was still a total mystery, but everyone knew he wasn't ordinary. One entertainment company CEO once tried to pressure Chloe, demanding she accompany him and threatening to blacklist her if she refused. But nobody expected that company to go bankrupt within days. That shocked everyone in the industry, considering that company was one of the top 3 in the country. It made a lot of people realize just how powerful whoever backed Chloe really was. Right then, she was sitting reading her script, when a quiet voice caught her attention. This Ethan guy is hilarious. A guy who didn't even finish high school, claiming college taught him nothing. Chloe thought she misheard and didn't think much of it. But the whispered conversation continued. Honestly, I kinda get it. Why he'd rent a fancy car to impress the class beauty. So she got up and walked over to the two women. I heard you two talking about something interesting. Mind telling me what it is? Oh, Miss Chloe, we were just watching a live stream. There's this popular streamer who's meeting up with her old high school classmates on camera. And this guy she's with right now is actually pretty entertaining, listening to them talk. Chloe took the phone and looked at the stream. She saw an average-looking guy and a pretty girl laughing over dinner. Seeing this, Chloe narrowed her eyes slightly. Her lips curved into a beautiful smile. Both women were left in awe. She's seriously so gorgeous. Chloe handed the phone back, smiling and thanking them. Then she nodded and walked off. Back at her seat, she grabbed her own phone and pulled up the same live stream. The comment section was going wild. Everyone was saying Lily looked plain next to the guy's ideal type. Chloe read the comments, smiling again, enjoying the show. But the moment her assistant saw comments about the guy pretending to be rich, the air around them seemed to get noticeably colder. Meanwhile, a man's voice interrupted my conversation with Lily. It was our old classmate Nathan. He sat down acting all humble, but his glance at me carried a hint of mockery. His arrival made every female viewer swoon. Lily immediately stood up to introduce him, but I spoke first. I know him. We actually ran into each other a few days ago. Then I invited him to join us for lunch. Right then, a beautiful piano melody drifted through the hall. Soon it faded away. After a moment of silence, applause broke out. Nathan smiled at Lily. That pianist wasn't that great. How about I play something instead? I'm actually a student of the famous pianist Master Lee. Lily's eyes widened. Everyone knew Master Lee was a legendary pianist in the country. Nathan smiled confidently and walked over to the piano in the center of the hall. Soaking in all the attention, he slowly raised his hands, then began playing gracefully like a noble prince, instantly captivating every woman in the room. Soon the piece ended, and applause filled the room. Nathan acted all casual about it, but inside he was thrilled. Lily, what did you think? That was beautiful. Lily had never formally studied piano. She just knew it sounded nice after getting her approval. He turned to me with a smug look. Ethan, what did you think? It was decent, but nowhere near as good as the pianist from earlier. Nathan almost laughed at that comment. He wanted to say right to my face, what would a delivery driver even know about playing piano? Some viewers actually agreed. Nathan's playing wasn't great, but that got drowned out fast by trolls, Nathan said with a smug tone. Well then, why don't you play something, Ethan? I'd love to learn. I nodded and walked slowly to the center of the hall. Soon a beautiful piano melody filled the air. It was the same piece Nathan had just played, and the chat instantly exploded. No way Ethan can actually play piano. He really got us this time. It was the same song, but somehow Ethan's version sounds way better. It wasn't just the viewers thinking that, even Lily was completely stunned. Meanwhile, Nathan's expression darkened. At the same time, in a classroom at the National Conservatory of Music, surrounded by beautiful music students crowded around watching the live stream. Does anyone else think Ethan plays better than our own professor? Students whispered among themselves, not noticing a middle-aged man walking in. He cleared his throat sternly. Don't you all have class? Why is there Mozart playing right now? Professor, it's not a recording, someone's actually playing live. The professor paused and grabbed the phone to look. A flash of shock crossed her face, seeing her expression. A student asked Professor, how does your piano skill compare to his? I'm not as good as him, everyone froze. Professor Liu was one of the top pianists at the entire school. She listened quietly, thinking to herself. This guy plays exactly like Mozart himself, and Mozart was universally considered the greatest pianist ever. Nobody knew his real identity when she saw people in the chat trashing Ethan's playing, saying he wasn't any good. She immediately grabbed the student's phone and commented, I'm a professor at the National Conservatory of Music. Here's my staff ID. This is me, this is my staff ID. And my piano certification, I can confirm Ethan's skill level is extremely high. Higher than mine, at least the moment that comment posted. The whole chat exploded with no way considering how prestigious the conservatory was. Not to mention actually being a professor there. Nathan noticed Lily staring blankly at her phone, so he asked what's wrong. Is it possible that Professor is fake, Lily? There's so much fake stuff online these days. Any photo can be edited. Nathan's comment resonated with the trolls in the chat. Nathan has a point. Who knows if that so-called professor is even real? Anything can be photoshopped nowadays. Maybe that ID was fake too, but they never expected. Professor Liu saw the accusations about her ID being fake and immediately contacted the school's PR office, asking them to post an official statement once Lily saw the conservatory's post. She got really excited, Nathan. Look, the conservatory posted on their official account that professor really does work there. I can't believe Ethan's this talented, even a professor is praising him. But right then, Nathan's eyes flashed with jealousy. He felt like he should be the one getting all the attention. And this jerk Ethan had ruined that just then. The once cheerful melody suddenly turned faster and more intense. A burst of quick notes echoed through the hall, like waves crashing in a storm, making listeners feel swept up in emotion one moment, then tense the next. Everyone was stunned, quietly soaking in the music. Soon I finished playing Moonlight Sonata and slowly stood up. The whole room went silent for a beat. Then everyone rose, applauding. The applause was louder than what Nathan got earlier. In that moment, I felt like a returning hero, Ethan. I had no idea you were hiding this talent, pretending you didn't know piano. That's kind of shady, Nathan smiled warmly, but his words carried a subtle jab implying I was being sneaky. Knowing piano but hiding it. I shook my head slowly. I said I only know a little. Nathan was speechless. You call that a little then? What would you call amazing? But honestly, you didn't even finish high school. What's the point of playing? Well, you're still just a delivery driver, Ethan. Who taught you piano? I just taught myself in my spare time. It's just a hobby of mine, I said with a smile. Hearing that the chat started up again, this is just reality. Piano is his hobby, but delivering food is his life. Turns out even the most talented people end up bowing to reality without financial stability. Seeing those comments, Lily's expression turned complicated, right? He's not just living for himself anymore, he has a family to support. He has to work hard for them. There's no time left for chasing hobbies. Ethan, if you're ever struggling, you can always tell us, we're classmates after all. We'll definitely help if we can. I know this is a live stream, but don't act tough just to save face. Nathan sighed, acting like I was too embarrassed to speak up on camera. Lily also wanted to help me, but she planned to ask privately after the stream ended instead of bringing it up live. But Nathan beat her to it. She didn't think too much of it, assuming he meant well. Nathan pulled a business card from his jacket and handed it to me. He handed the card over. I looked at it. It read Real Estate CEO Nathan. Seeing my reaction, he smiled modestly. It's nothing really, just a small company. Though we're currently prepping for an IPO, our valuation could multiply several times over. I could tell he was bragging, but I honestly didn't care. I just let out a quiet hum in response. Nathan frowned at my reaction, clearly annoyed. But he couldn't show it for the rest of the meal. Nathan mostly talked with Lily while I just quietly ate. Lily felt a pang of guilt watching that Ilgo use the restroom. Lily figured she'd grab the check while I was gone, so she stood up to pay right as I suddenly spoke up laughing. Lily froze, not sure what to do. She never expected me to guess exactly what she was thinking. Nathan, don't put me in an awkward spot. Our streaming rules say that any expenses during the stream get covered by my company. I can just get it reimbursed later. I thought about it and just let her pay. Nathan's eyes flashed with contempt. He figured I agreed so fast because I couldn't afford it anyway. The chat mocked me for it. This is hilarious. He only brought enough for a basic meal and Nathan ordered extra. Guess he can't even cover it. Didn't he say he got millions in compensation? Can't even pay for one meal, needs a girl to cover him. Unlike me agreeing so easily. Nathan strongly insisted he should be the one paying for the meal that earned him a lot of female fans. But male viewers weren't impressed, thinking he was just a wolf in sheep's clothing. With obvious intentions, the chat split into a gender debate. Let's settle this so nobody has to argue, I suggested with a smile. Lily was already annoyed with Nathan by then. This meetup was supposed to be with me. Him tagging along was one thing, but now he's trying to steal the spotlight right then. I called Lily over and handed her a coupon from my wallet. When Lily looked at the coupon, she froze. It was for 90% off. The chat was shocked. No way, that's way too generous. Even a clearance sale wouldn't go that low. This restaurant must be losing money on that discount. Then again, considering who he is. He's a delivery guy, he probably knows the staff here, so an insider discount makes total sense reading that comment. Lily suddenly understood after paying the bill. I got called away for something urgent and had to leave. This left Lily disappointed. She really wanted to meet my kids that afternoon. Lily went back to the studio, but before she could even sit down, her co-workers surrounded her. Celebrating the stream had hit 1 million viewers. And it was all thanks to me. Lily sank into the couch and told Sophie. Ethan left so suddenly I never got to ask him about joining the studio. Sophie told her to just call him, but oddly enough, his number showed out of service area. That made everyone suspicious. Considering how good the country's infrastructure was, there was basically no dead zones anywhere. They had no choice but to wait. The next day, Lily went live again. After a heated debate with viewers, she decided to meet up with a short, heavy-set female classmate. This time it only took a bit of asking around to find her, and they agreed on a meeting spot. While waiting for her classmate, Lily chatted with fans in the meantime. Right then, a gentle voice called out. Lily turned her camera toward the sound. The comments blew up instantly because a total knockout showed up on screen. Nina flipped her big curls, giving off a super glam vibe. Lily genuinely couldn't recognize her at first. Classmates usually keep some trace of how they looked back in school, no matter what they've been through, but this girl looked completely different. Nina made quite an entrance, boosting the stream instantly, but Lily felt something was off about her face. Especially when she smiled, it looked kind of stiff after some small talk. Viewers learned Nina was single and posted short videos about her life. Her account, which had barely 10,000 followers before, blew up to over 200,000 after the stream. Lily, at fans' request, dug deeper into Nina's current life and career, satisfying everyone's curiosity. But what nobody expected was that after this stream, Lily's reunion stream saw a noticeable drop in views. Sophie frowned, thinking hard. Sure enough, just as she suspected, Nina had started her own stream too, except she was meeting up with junior high classmates, and her channel was labeled Top Influencer. Lily's high school classmate Nina, it was obviously riding on Lily's success. No wonder their stream's views had been dropping lately. What made it worse was that Nina already had 2 million followers just from copying the format. Sophie kind of expected this eventually, but never thought it would be one of Lily's own classmates stealing the spotlight, though Lily herself didn't think much of it. After all, she'd just been the first to try it. Copycats were bound to show up. But the surprising part was that Nathan, Nina, and Ethan weren't just high school classmates, they went to junior high together too. And Nina was actually meeting up with Nathan, a guy worth hundreds of millions. He blinked and casually brought up my name, saying his family got hundreds of millions in compensation, which she found impressive. But Nathan looked dismissive and blurted it out live. He said he ran into me delivering food, looking pretty rough. Honestly, it was awkward. After that conversation, viewers suggested Nina meet up with me next. Nina's stream views shot up instantly actually before going live. Nathan and Nina had already met up beforehand, and bringing me up was deliberate. They wanted to expose me for faking being rich. Nina rode the momentum and called my number, but got the out-of-service message. Meanwhile, Sophie saw Nina couldn't reach me, and breathed a sigh of relief. She was genuinely worried. Nina might actually pull it off, since I'm pretty popular in short videos right now. Especially with my meme going around, it's practically legendary at this point. People even call me the ultimate flex master. But then Sophie realized something important. She started pushing Lily to try again, since last time Ethan had to leave halfway through the stream. She wanted Lily to invite me back. But Lily didn't want me getting mocked online again, but Sophie tempted her with, this could actually benefit him too. If he lands even one ad deal from this popularity, that could be worth a few 100,000, way better than delivering food. Lily hesitated, but eventually nodded and agreed. Right then, Nina tried calling again. And this time it actually connected, but she heard a super smooth voice cut her off wearily. No cars, no houses, no insurance, no loans, no investments. Thanks. And then hung up immediately. Nina was stunned, and so was everyone in the chat. But some viewers caught on fast bet he thought it was a scam call. Nina snapped back to reality. Oh. Worried it'd hang up again, she quickly explained. It's my junior high classmate. She also started a stream. Meeting up with old classmates, I saw it was another reunion stream call, and just declined right away hearing the dial tone. Nina felt pretty annoyed. Usually she's the one hanging up on people. But since she was live, she just had to figure out another approach later. Meanwhile, back at Lily's studio, Sophie and Lily were watching Nina's stream. Neither expected me to reject it so bluntly. Lily suddenly had a bad thought. What if he's avoiding calls because he's overwhelmed by the online hate? That's why he's unreachable. She quickly grabbed her phone and called me. Ethan, it's me about the last time we met up. I'm really sorry, I got you dragged through the mud online. Wait, what? You're worried about that? I thought something serious happened, I already told you. Most people online are just jealous, no need to take it seriously. You're not mad at all, not even a little. People have their own opinions, I can't control what they say. No point letting it ruin my mood. But about the delivery driver thing. Yeah, I actually did that before, ran into Nathan last time too. But delivering food was just something I did for fun, basically. Honestly, I've done way more than that construction work. Street sweeping, security guard, delivery driving was just a hobby. Lily and Sophie exchanged a look even though the call wasn't on speaker. The office was quiet enough that Sophie could hear everything. She leaned in and whispered, "Forget all that. Just ask if he's free to do another live stream meetup sometime soon." Lily hesitated. Before this, Nina had already tried calling asking for a meetup stream and got turned down multiple times. But thinking about the mini pop star kids, she couldn't resist asking, "Hey Ethan, there's something I'd like to ask. Could you do another live stream meetup with me? Last time got such a great response. A lot of viewers want to see you again. They're probably just hoping to laugh at me, honestly, Ethan." "Sorry, I already told you. I don't care what people say online, so can we do this again? My views have been dropping lately, plus I really want to see your kids. You know, Chloe's basically my idol. I just really want to see those kids who look like her, alright, fine. But it'll have to wait a few days, no problem. Whenever works for you after hanging up." Lily turned to Sophie, all excited. Sophie couldn't help laughing. "Why does it feel like you're setting up a meeting? With some celebrity, though, honestly, Ethan's popularity right now isn't far off from an actual star." Lily just grinned sheepishly. Not even sure why herself, maybe it was guilt from last time. Or maybe something else. Does anyone actually not care about online hate? She asked Sophie curiously. Sophie thought about it. Maybe it's possible, especially since Ethan used to deliver food and that job comes with way harsher reality than the internet. I bet he doesn't even have a stable job right now, given how many random jobs he's had meanwhile. After Nina ended her stream, she went to a hotel with Nathan. He wrapped his arm around her. Right then, Nina's phone buzzed with a trending topic about herself. She got excited for a second, but after reading it, she angrily pushed Nathan away. Lily had posted about agreeing to meet up, and it spread instantly. But as far as Nina was concerned, she was just doing me a favor because Lily was pretty in her mind. She probably still saw me stuck. Back in high school, an idea flashed through Nina's head, a slow smile spreading across her face. Finally, the day of Lily's meetup arrived. The moment she went live, viewers flooded in. "We live for Ethan's flexes, wonder if he'll show up with a rented luxury car again." Comments kept pouring in. Lily noticed people still calling me a fake rich guy, so she repeated my explanation from before, but nobody believed it. Seeing she couldn't clear it up right away, she quickly changed the subject, saying today's meetup isn't just about him, it's really about his kids. New viewers weren't impressed, assuming the fake rich guy's kids were nothing special. But longtime fans jumped to defend, saying my kids look exactly like the nation's sweetheart. Once they posted old screenshots, the whole chat went nuts. "This guy's unbelievable. He's obviously trying to trap someone into having his kids." "Oh, Lily, what a coincidence. I was actually just visiting my old junior high. Never expected to run into you. Here are you filming right now. What a wild coincidence. Sure, the town isn't huge, but two people who've both moved away running into each other isn't easy either. Did Nina come here specifically knowing about the meetup?" "Hey now, don't say that our girl isn't exactly chasing anyone. Lowell, Ethan can't compare to Nina's popularity. Our girl Nina already had plenty of buzz. Why would she need Lily's spotlight? If anything, it's the other way around." Chat instantly turned into a war zone. Right then I showed up riding my scooter. The chat exploded because this entrance was the last thing anyone expected. Nina covered her mouth, snickering. Clear disdain in her eyes, plain looking, broken, bitter. How did a guy like this even get married? Some poor woman must be blind, Ethan. "Lily told me you drive some fancy multi-million-dollar car." "Where's the car though, Lily?" "Who's your friend here, Ethan? Wow, you're forgetful. We were classmates in both junior high and high school. I even called you a few days ago about a meetup. You turned me down. Oh right. You're the one who kept calling me. What's your name again?" Nina genuinely couldn't remember either. I actually have our old yearbook photo here. Lily pulled a photo from her bag. I took a look at it. Looked between the photo and Nina in shock. "This doesn't even look like you." Then I shook my head and handed it back to Lily. Plenty of viewers started roasting Nina, basically implying she had work done on her face. Nina noticed the comments and quickly changed the subject. "Ethan, anyway, where is that $1 million luxury car of yours? Don't tell me you're picking Lily up on a scooter." She smirked behind her hand, curious how it'd respond. But I just shook my head, unbothered. "Since Lily and I are just heading to daycare, driving would be a pain. Road's only so wide, plus a fancy car would draw way too much attention. Scooter just makes more sense, easier to park, no traffic hassle." Of course, this Flex King has an answer for everything. It's not that he doesn't want to drive, he's just being humble, apparently. Forget whether he actually has a fancy car or not, driving a car to pick up kids at school is honestly the worst, always jamming up the whole street. Who doesn't have a car these days, though? Of course, Nina didn't buy a word of it. She figured I was just faking it. If I actually had a $1 million car, I'd probably show off at the school gates daily. But I ignored her snarky tone and just turned to Lily. "We're running a little late. You good with riding on the scooter?" "I'm good," although Lily was a bit surprised. That he'd shown up on a scooter she genuinely didn't mind. Nina was clearly annoyed, but forced to smile anyway. Mind if I tag along too? I'm curious what Ethan's kids look like. Sorry about that. There's only 2 helmets. And legally scooters can only carry 1 adult passenger. Then I waved Lily onto the bike. As for Nina, she could figure out her own ride. Nina watched us ride off, dropping the act entirely. Pure disdain on her face, I focused on driving. While Lily filmed from the backseat, Ethan, "Your wife won't mind me tagging along, right? Worried I'd miss it." She yelled loudly from behind. Not at all. "She trusts me," I answered, keeping my eyes ahead. Before long, we pulled up outside the daycare. A burly, middle-aged man greeted me warmly. "Hey Ming's dad, you're here too. This must be Ming's mom, right?" "No, this is my old high school classmate. We just happened to run into each other today." I quickly explained. Lily noticed. The second we arrived, tons of parents greeted me warmly. "Ethan, I heard them calling you Ming's dad. Is your son's name actually Ethan Jr., yeah, why? Don't you think the name is a little too simple? Not really. Simple names are easier to write and remember, which helps a lot in school. Then what's your daughter's name? Don't tell me it's something like Jane." "It's Lily Rose, after a classical poem line meaning graceful and bright," I answered without hesitation. Lily's eyes lit up. She never expected such a pretty name. Wait a second. Didn't you just say simple names are easier to write and remember? I actually thought long and hard about this name, honestly. I'm pretty proud of it. Lily just stared at me, completely done. Meanwhile, viewers were cracking up right then. A voice caught everyone's attention. Nina hadn't expected such bad traffic. And once she finally got there, 2 security guards stopped her. So she yelled loudly, "Do you know who I am?" I walked over and quietly explained things to the guards, so they let Nina through. Meanwhile, parents surrounded me asking questions, mostly because Nina was dressed way too flashy. Nina genuinely looked down on me, especially once she heard I'd been the one dropping off and picking up the kids since day 1. That made her respect me even less. She assumed my wife had probably run off with someone. She immediately asked daycare staff if they'd ever seen my wife. After learning it had always been me picking up the kids, viewers started speculating that maybe my wife wasn't around at all. Either something happened or we got divorced. Meanwhile, on set, Chloe had finally wrapped filming for the day, riding back in the studio car to rest when her phone buzzed. "Lily, You Follow just went live," remembering what her husband mentioned earlier. She opened the stream and saw exactly what Nina was speculating. Along with all the comments, Chloe frowned. All these years, her husband had always supported her career. But deep down, she knew she'd neglected her family too much, especially him and the kids. Maybe it's time to focus on family more. Meanwhile, at the daycare, Nina noticed my wife never showed up and bluntly asked what she does for work. Too busy to even show up for her own kids' performance. She's an actress, I guess. Nina obviously didn't believe that. Hearing my wife was an actress, viewers instantly mocked me. Nina covered her mouth, feigning shock. But her eyes flashed with contempt. Of course, this guy would say that. First the rented car act, now his wife's some star actress. Why not just say your wife is Chloe herself while you're at it? Never expected Ethan's wife would actually be an actress, so what's she been in, what shows or movies? Nina pressed further. Lily actually wanted to stop her, but before she could, Nina blurted out, "Just some minor actress, right?" "No way. Why not? If I told you my wife was Chloe, would you believe me?" "You've got to be kidding me." Nina burst out laughing. It was honestly the funniest thing she'd heard all day. If Chloe actually went for a guy like him, she'd run naked around the world. Lily sighed inwardly. She knew my bragging habit had kicked in again. Viewers were cracking up too. Haha. We knew Ethan liked flexing, but not this hard. His kid does kind of look like Chloe though. Does he actually think his wife is the nation's sweetheart? Meanwhile, the daycare show finally kicked off. After the other classes performed, it was finally my 2 kids' turn. I'm sure the parents are excited for this next one. Please welcome Class C with a martial arts performance. The little kung fu kids, as the host announced enthusiastically. Over a dozen kids ran onto the stage, dressed in yellow uniforms with red sashes around their waists. They bowed to the parents, perfectly synced, then split into pairs, squaring off against each other. Their dodges and moves were so sharp, parents were cheering like crazy. Viewers were floored too. Must be some kung fu master the daycare hired to teach them. Lily's views spiked instantly. She glanced back and saw a row of parents watching the stage, completely captivated. Gotta hand it to Ming's dad. He's something else, yeah, he's really good. Totally. These kids all learned their moves from him. Lily caught snippets of this and wanted to confirm. She leaned in and whispered, "Ethan," they said, "you designed this routine? I only know a little bit of martial arts." "Wait, it was really you know, kung fu too." That performance was incredible. It got me all pumped up. "Next up, we're bringing you a safety education play from Class C, Little Bunnies Be Careful." The host introduced it and scattered applause rang out. Lily looked toward the stage, her eyes lighting up. 3 kids dressed as adorable bunnies sang in sweet little voices, hopping around the stage, and the one leading them was my daughter. Her little face looked just like Chloe's, and Lily's heart melted instantly. "She's so adorable." Lily listened to the song, thinking it sounded really nice, but oddly, she couldn't place it right then. A huge muscular guy jumped over the daycare fence with a scraggly beard and messy clothes, charging straight at the stage. The security guard spotted a kitchen knife in his hand, and his face went pale. He shouted and ran after him, but the music was still playing, so the parents didn't even hear him, let alone react. But I suddenly stood up, which is when the nearby parents finally noticed. Chaos broke out instantly, but Nina lit right up. Grabbing her phone to film the huge attacker live, viewers finally realized What was going on at the suddenly chaotic daycare? Nina's own channel spiked hard. Lily just glanced at Nina briefly, then looked at me, worried. The size difference between me and the knife-wielding attacker was massive if I got close. There was no way I'd stop him fast enough. Some viewers covered their eyes, too scared to watch what they thought would turn violent. But right then, I reached into my pocket in a flash. A silver flash streaked by, and the attacker, who was charging at the kids, suddenly tripped over something and face-planted hard. He struggled to get back up, glaring at me with a twisted expression. Just as he swung the knife at me, I sidestepped it easily, then swung my leg fast, giving him no time to react. One kick sent him flying several feet. Everyone stood frozen. The guards and parents rushing over paused mid-step. Nobody expected me to take him down that fast. Lily rushed over first, checking if I was okay. She still couldn't believe my supposedly basic martial arts skills were that good. Then suddenly Lily noticed a comment someone posted, a slowed down gif. It showed me rushing at the attacker while reaching into my pocket with my right hand, then flicking something forward right as he fell. The gif wasn't very smooth, honestly looked more like a slideshow. Cycling through a few frames, Lily froze. Completely confused. Did that guy not trip on his own? Was he actually hit by something I threw when the frame froze on me, flicking a coin from my pocket? The whole chat went nuts. No way, how did he do that? Wait, so that guy actually got taken down by a coin Ethan threw. That trips him up. He said he only knew a little kung fu. I'm skeptical now. Did Ethan hire some kung fu master to train him? Lily was completely floored. She was dying to know how I did it. So she asked right away, Ethan, do you know some kind of hidden weapon skill? Like in the movies, there's no hidden weapon. I'm just really good at throwing stuff accurately, right? Then a sweet little voice piped up. Lily instinctively looked over and froze. A little girl around 3 years old ran up looking absolutely adorable. Like a tiny fairy straight out of a cartoon. It was my daughter Rosie. Lily swallowed hard, trying to look sweet and warm, but honestly came off a bit creepy. Daddy, who's this pretty lady? Rosie asked, blinking her big bright eyes at Lily. I smiled and explained, she's Daddy's classmate. You can call her Aunt Lily, no way. She's clearly a pretty big sister. Lily's heart nearly exploded from cuteness overload. She's literally a tiny angel. Since the attack cut the show short, the daycare couldn't continue the program. Parents apologetically started heading out one by one by then. Lily knew today's stream had to wrap up. She felt a pang of sadness looking at Rosie. But goodbyes were inevitable except then. Nina chimed in cheerfully, since we're already out here, why don't we swing by Ethan's place? Lily immediately caught on to what Nina was after. Going to my actual house would blow my cover instantly. Lily didn't want that comments were flooding in. Finally, let's see the real him, but some viewers disagreed, saying let the guy keep some dignity. Lily was against Nina's idea too. Plus, she'd already agreed with me. The plan was just the kid's performance. She also wanted to spare me from embarrassment, but Nina just smiled sweetly at me, figuring I'd turn her down, but instead I said, the scooter can't fit everyone. She nearly burst out laughing. Holding it back, she said she'd just grab a cab. I gave them my address, then rode off with my kid on the scooter. Once I was gone, Lily called a car too. The driver saw the address and asked, you're headed to Back Hill Village, right? Lily in the passenger seat looked confused, since the address I gave was just a security booth at an intersection. Nina in the back frowned. Back Hill Village sounded familiar somehow. Sir, does that village actually back up against a mountain it used to? Not anymore though, what do you mean? I don't get it, used to but not now. Ever heard of Misty Pine Resort? Misty Pine Resort. Nina looked shocked. No wonder Back Hill Village sounded familiar. She knew about it. Because of the resort's development, more importantly, the developer built every household in the village a private villa on top of huge payouts. The highest compensation was in the hundreds of millions. Nina suddenly remembered what I'd said earlier. No way, that couldn't be real. She'd assumed I was just making it up. What's wrong, Nina? Lily asked, confused, turning to look at her. The driver explained the situation briefly, and Lily finally understood Nina's shocked reaction. Viewers who heard the driver's explanation were floored too. Comments came pouring in. By the time they arrived, Lily and Nina spotted me riding my scooter up ahead, and beyond that, rows of luxury villas came into view. This isn't a village. It's basically a whole gated estate. The same viewers who just recently mocked me for being broke and faking rich were now eating their words. Lily just smiled at Nina. Nina scoffed internally, still not convinced. She figured I must have planned this all along. Rented out a villa in the village beforehand. After all, the villagers here, who got huge payouts, would obviously move to big cities. There's no good schools or hospitals out here, so plenty of villas were probably sitting empty and rented out for parties or events. But once they entered the village, an old man walked over slowly with his hands behind his back, smiling and greeting me. Rosie, who was on the scooter, politely called out, Uncle Joe. The old man grinned, pulling some candy from his pocket. We ran into a few more familiar faces along the way, and Lily nodded politely at each. Viewers were speechless. The trolls just got wrecked. Those are all his relatives. Soon we arrived at a big house. Right at the gate, Lily and Nina both froze. The gate opened and inside was a fancy car parked in the yard. Lily recognized it. It was the same car I drove the first time we met up. The chat exploded. No way, we were the clowns this whole time. Anyone still calling Ethan a delivery driver is getting roasted. Delivery drivers don't drive cars like that, is it possible? Ethan only delivers food for fun once inside the yard. Lily noticed how spacious it was, but right then, a weird noise rang out, sounded like a pig oinking, and sure enough, a huge pig with black spots on its back came charging straight at them before they could even react. The pig was already right in front of them. Then a soft, cheerful voice rang out. And what happened next left everyone stunned. The pig stopped right in front of Rosie. Like it was welcoming her home, I explained with a smile. This is Rosie's pet. Then Rosie climbed right onto its back. Lily was stunned. She glanced over at me. Curious how I'd react as a dad, but I was totally used to it by now. Rosie rides that pig around the village all the time. Then a graceful, elegant woman walked out of the house. She looked a bit surprised seeing Lily and Nina once she learned they were my old classmates. She warmly invited them inside. The house wasn't as fancy as viewers imagined, but it had a cozy, welcoming feel right then. My phone rang. I excused myself and asked my mom to keep them company. Nina walked right up to my mom. Sweet talking her right away. Wow, ma'am, you look amazing for your age. Nina's sudden change confused Lily. Little did she know Nina was fishing for info. My mom went along with it, talking about how they used to live in a totally different place, how she raised pigs, cut grass, fed livestock. Back when I was a kid, Nina then feigned surprise, ma'am. I heard everyone here got a huge payout. My mom just laughed and said they got lucky. But Nina had a flash of jealousy in her eyes. Lucky doesn't even cover it. It's basically hitting the jackpot from nowhere, a bunch of country folks stuck in the mountains. Suddenly getting wealth people usually spend generations trying to build. What confused her more was why the developer even wanted this mountain in the first place. Viewers were digging up old news. I just looked it up. Turns out the developer of Misty Pine Resort only had 10 million in registered capital, and this was literally their only project. This made viewers suspicious. Felt like the company was created just for this one development. Lily read the comments, feeling a bit torn between laughing and crying, but what really shocked her was that everything I'd said the first time we met turned out true. Remembering she wanted to sign me to her studio made her cringe at herself. Meanwhile, Nina had completely dropped her condescending act. Probably had some scheme brewing, but too bad I'm married with kids. When the topic shifted to my wife, Nina jumped on it, asking curiously my mom's side, saying she only comes home every so often, that's no big deal abroad. But here, a daughter-in-law who neglects the family would never fly with most mothers-in-law. But then my mom said she fully supported my wife's career, leaving the whole chat amazed. Now that's a mother-in-law who genuinely loves her daughter-in-law like her own. That's rare. Lily remembered right then that it said my wife was a minor actress. A minor actress wouldn't need to be gone that often, since in her mind, only top-tier stars travel constantly for filming. Nina acted like she felt bad for my mom and started criticizing my wife, but my mom just paused, then laughed. Probably amused that her daughter-in-law was seen as some minor actress, Nina noticed my mom's reaction and got suspicious. Maybe she's not just an extra. Nina figured there was a story here worth digging into, so she straight up asked for my wife's name and roles. But my mom suddenly hesitated. Luckily, Lily quickly changed the topic. But Nina wasn't letting go for the sake of views. Viewers noticed my mom seemed to be hiding something and started speculating maybe he's married to some minor tier celebrity. Makes sense for someone. Suddenly this rich comments turned pretty one-sided. I just don't get why Ethan would marry some low-tier star. The entertainment industry is a mess, trust me. I've seen it firsthand. Nothing clean about that world. Viewers were baffled by my choice. But suddenly one comment caught everyone's attention. Doesn't Ethan's daughter look exactly like Chloe? Connecting all the dots, is there a chance? Ethan's wife is actually Chloe. Reading that, everyone burst out laughing. No way would the nation's sweetheart marry some random nouveau riche guy. Meanwhile, Chloe, who just got back to her hotel, saw the comments and her face soured instantly. Because that comment about her being my wife was actually hers. She never expected people to mock the idea so hard, she almost wanted to just announce it publicly. But worried about the backlash and media pressure it would bring me, she just quietly stewed in frustration. Though deep down she felt happy. Marrying me was still the best decision she'd ever made. Viewers kept guessing who my wife could be, even dragging in the rising starlet, Melody. Lily noticed the speculation and frowned. If Lily was Chloe's #1 fan, she was definitely Melody's #1 hater. The reason being, when Melody debuted, she constantly branded herself as mini Chloe everywhere, but oddly enough, once Melody blew up last year, she suddenly hated being called mini Chloe, which honestly Lily didn't mind. But what really ticked her off was Melody claiming her acting was better than Chloe's, and trashing Chloe publicly multiple times. What made Lily even angrier was Melody's messy personal life. She'd been caught by paparazzi late at night, discussing scripts with some director, even getting caught at hotels with some rich kid, but every time she got caught, Melody flat out denied it. She even hinted the woman in those photos was actually Chloe. Lily just couldn't stand it anymore. Not long after, a statement popped up on Melody's official account, claiming she was single, didn't know me and had no kids, and threatened legal action against anyone spreading rumors. Plenty of viewers didn't buy Melody's statement though. Her online reputation was already pretty bad. Nina noticed the speculation too. If Melody really were my wife, I'd definitely be getting cheated on, and it wouldn't be long before she filed for divorce. Considering Melody's wealth and fame these days, there's no way she'd settle for a guy like me. Right then, I walked back in after finishing my call. I smiled at Nina. Hey Nina, you really want to know what my wife acts in? Huh? Nina put on her sweetest, innocent smile. Her voice a little pitiful, just curious is all. I kept my tone even, but Lily still caught a slight edge in it. Lily wasn't surprised though, even after knowing me a short time. She could tell I was pretty easygoing, but even easygoing people have limits. Nina looked a little thrown off after taking that call. I said bye to them both. There's something at the resort I need to check on. My mom got worried. Hearing I was rushing off to the resort, I waved it off, saying it was nothing serious. Then told Lily and Nina to just hang out at my place. Lily was curious, but clearly knew this wasn't her business to ask about, but Nina had zero intention of letting it go. This was the highest engagement she'd ever gotten streaming. No way she was giving that up. She insisted on tagging along despite me saying I had business. Not sure if it was low social awareness or just chasing views. She had zero shame about it, seeing my odd expression. Nina threw Lily under the bus for backup, figuring Lily would want to tag along to the resort too for the views. But Nina never expected Lily to shut that down immediately. Nina's smile froze. She hadn't expected Lily to embarrass her on camera. She quietly resented Lily for it. I just ignored Nina's request entirely and rode off on my scooter once I left. Lily looked at cute little Rosie, dying to just hug her. Seeing Rosie sitting on the couch reading a book, she smiled. Finally something to chat about, but Rosie was reading a book about human psychology. Not just Lily, even viewers. Didn't believe a 3-year-old could actually understand a book like that. But Lily didn't say anything. Kids have pride too, after all. But Nina had no such filter. She forced a sweet smile, trying to bribe my daughter. Just read this book for me, and it'll give you a prize, she figured. A kid would ask for toys or candy, something cheap to handle. But my daughter Rosie's request was a pair of glasses that could take her to another world. This totally threw her off until she saw a comment saying those glasses were this year's hottest VR headset. Then it clicked. Apparently wearing them let you experience different worlds. Like teleporting through time and space, they came in different price ranges. So she figured a cheap one would be fine. But Lily jumped in right then, kindly warning Nina check the price first. That comment completely stunned her. Turns out this immersive Dragon Tech headset, even secondhand, cost tens of thousands. It's serious tech. But unexpectedly my mom said no worries. We've got money and had already put one in Rosie's room once Rosie heard. She hopped onto her pig and dashed toward her room. Viewers were stunned. The pig's got a real job apparently. But when Rosie came back holding a fancy box, viewers spotted the Max engraving on it. The whole chat exploded. Tons of viewers flooded Dragon Tech's official account, asking when the Max version releases. The support staff was totally confused. Trying to calm everyone down, they explained patiently that it's not even released yet, but skeptical viewers didn't believe it, saying the proof was literally live on stream soon. Dragon Tech Max was trending everywhere, even catching the attention of Dragon Tech's top execs. A flustered assistant rushed a tablet over to her boss, explaining everything happening on Lily's stream. He looked genuinely shocked. Ever since teasing the Max version earlier this year, some knockoffs had shown up, but this one was clearly the real deal. When he saw their PR team had already put out a statement denying it, his expression changed instantly. Jumping to conclusions before knowing the facts, that's a huge no in business. As a senior exec at Dragon Tech, he knew this version hadn't officially launched. But it had already been in production, just paused for release for other reasons. He told his assistant to issue a correction immediately. Seeing Dragon Tech's new statement, viewers instantly shared it around. Nina looked at it with a hint of schadenfreude, smiling and telling Rosie your headset is fake. But Rosie calmly replied the manufacturer obviously knows what's real, but not everyone else does. That comment felt way too mature. For her age, Lily was startled hearing that. Is this kid really only 3 years old? Just then, the chat blew up with Dragon Tech's latest statement. Lily clicked to check it and froze instantly. It basically said the previous statement was made by a rogue employee, who had since been fired after some internal review, which raised even more suspicion. Nina paused for a moment. Their original denial had already been deleted. Her face soured a bit, since Dragon Tech's conflicting statements drew a wave of tech enthusiasts into the stream, who believed the headset was legit high-end tech and could easily be verified with a test. Lily hesitated though. If it's real, that's fine, but if it's fake, she'd be worried Rosie would end up disappointed in her dad seeing the growing hype. Nina wasn't about to pass on. These views were too good. She turned to tempt Rosie. So you say this Gen 5 headset is real? Then let Auntie try it out. No, not for you. Only for big sis. Rosie tilted Lily's chin up, looking every bit adorably bossy. Hurry up and try it, Lily. She wanted everyone convinced. Lily watched Rosie's serious little face, and her heart just melted. Why keep the fun to yourself? Lily immediately turned her camera on Rosie, whose serious expression had all the tough guy viewers melting once Lily put the headset on. Everything went pitch black the next moment. Lily was stunned. The spacious living room and everyone around her vanished. She found herself in a dazzling virtual world. A fluffy baby panda rolled right up to her. Without thinking, Lily reached out and touched it, and the feeling was so soft. It felt exactly like petting a real cat. Wow, this is way too realistic. Back in reality, viewers watched Lily talking to herself and grabbing at empty air, sparking a fresh debate about whether the headset was real once Lily took it off. She looked totally serious, insisting the Dragon Tech Max in her hands was definitely real. Listening to Lily's description, viewers instantly remembered the launch event mentioning the V2 companion was a panda, but Nina still didn't buy it. She assumed Lily was just faking her reaction. She pretended to be shocked and suggested trying it herself. Lots of viewers agreed, can't just take Lily's word for it. So with everyone watching, Nina put the Dragon Tech Max on. In an instant, viewers noticed her reactions matched Lily's exactly. But Lily started regretting having admitted it was real, since this version wasn't even released yet. She worried people would suspect I got it through shady means, possibly landing me in legal trouble. Now she actually hoped Nina would lie about it, but sure enough, once Nina took the headset off, she didn't disappoint Lily. She pretended to be surprised, lying that it felt slightly real, but nowhere close to actual reality. But once Nina noticed how high her own stream views had gotten, she suddenly admitted it was the real deal. That sparked a flood of viewers bombarding Dragon Tech's official account. but they still gave no clear response. Support staff just kept saying they had no info, leaving everyone even more curious. Where exactly did I get this? Some suspicious viewers even hinted at bribery. Meanwhile, little Rosie was the happiest one there, thinking she just backed up her dad. But Lily felt a chill, not knowing how to explain this. If I bought it legally, that'd be fine. But the problem was this product hadn't even launched, yet still Nina eagerly tried to pry more info out of my mom once everyone heard I hadn't bought it, but got it as a gift from a friend that only fueled more disbelief. People assumed it was just a cover story since the Max version sold out instantly, was worth a down payment on a house in Scalpers. Could easily double that price. Lily tried to stop Nina from digging further. But my mom had already added my friend actually gave us more than one pair. Just as the room went quiet, suspecting insider corruption, Nina kept pushing, figuring if she could dig up my friend's name, she'd be riding Dragon Tech's coattails for sure. Not long after, viewers proved their strength in numbers. Using just that clue, they uncovered my friend's real identity. Turned out to be a bigger deal than expected. My friend was actually the CEO of Dragon Tech itself. Lily immediately connected the dots. If that's true, it makes sense. The CEO would give unreleased products to a close friend. Nina, who was gloating earlier, just froze. The CEO was worth billions. Built his fortune from a land demolition deal. There's no way he's connected to Ethan. But then she got a sudden idea and quickly pulled up his photo, showing it to my mom. She got a definite confirmation. Nina's repeated attempts to disprove it finally got under my mom's skin, so she pulled out an old photo. Pointing to the guy with bleached hair on the right, that's the CEO. Nina couldn't argue anymore because the bleached blonde guy in the photo really did look like the current CEO. Viewers were shocked too. The low-key composed CEO used to look like a total delinquent, and based on the photo, Ethan had actually known him way before he made it big. They all agreed I just got insanely lucky landing that connection, like being buddies with a founder before they blew up on a global scale. Alex Zhang, founder of Dragon Tech, was easily one of the most legendary figures in the industry. Started from absolutely nothing and became a globally known tech giant. Once Dragon Tech's CEO Alex Zhang got exposed, Lily's stream reached record-breaking engagement. Meanwhile, at Dragon Tech GM, George Liu watched the whole thing unfold, quietly relieved that he hadn't outright denied the headset in Rosie's hands earlier. Right then, a viewer floated a wild theory. Maybe Ethan knew Alex Zhang. Because he was one of Dragon Tech's early investors. That comment caught Nina's attention. Instantly, she immediately asked my mom about it. But after my mom denied it, Nina pretended to sympathize. Though secretly, she was pretty pleased about it. My mom mentioned that the compensation from the demolition was way more than most people could ever dream of, leaving Nina speechless. But oddly enough, her eyes suddenly gleamed with an idea. She remembered reading somewhere Alex Zhang was still single, so she leaned in toward my mom. Under the excuse of asking about the Max version release date for fans, she asked for Alex's contact info. Though most viewers weren't paying close attention, some sharp ones caught on, roasting Nina for asking a minor streamer, demanding a tech giant's number, obviously not for innocent reasons. But the flood of tech enthusiasts who'd rushed in earlier didn't care about the drama. They just wanted to know if they could buy a headset off me before they got an answer. Dragon Tech's official account posted an announcement. Dragon Tech Max pre-orders now open. That sent both live streams and the entire internet into a frenzy. Comments accused it of being a hype marketing scam, treating fans like cash cows. People urged everyone to boycott, but the same people leading the boycott ended up buying out pre-order slots on every platform, even posting receipts afterward as Dragon Tech's pre-order buzz kept climbing. Confused tech fans flooded both Lily's and Nina's streams, pushing viewer counts to record highs, but Lily wasn't as thrilled as Nina. Her main focus this whole time had always just been the mini version of the nation's sweetheart. Meanwhile, Chloe, still filming on set, was watching the stream with interest. As for me, knowing Dragon Tech's CEO, Alex, she wasn't surprised at all since she knew we were basically sworn brothers. But Lily had no clue about any of that, just growing more curious about me instead. Not long after, she learned from my mom that my actual hobby was food delivery, that at home I basically did nothing, like an unemployed guy. Nina overheard that and jumped to conclusions, calling me lazy and useless. But this time, viewers actually thought clearly, pushing back hard on Nina. The guy's got hundreds of millions and you're still worried if he has a job. Are you just trying to feel relevant off of Ethan? Then my daughter lifted her chin, proudly declaring my daddy's a comic artist. Nina froze for a second, nearly bursting out laughing. But then she reconsidered, given how many reveals had already flipped things on their head this time. She wondered if it might actually be true. Just then, Rosie hopped on her pig and zoomed straight into her own room, coming back with a few paper airplanes. Lily looked at the paper planes handed to her, not sure what to say. If those were actual comic drafts, they'd never let a kid use them for paper airplanes. But with Rosie insisting, Lily unfolded each paper plane, revealing crisp black and white line art, though she wasn't into comics much. The characters' expressions, poses, and dialogue looked incredibly lifelike. Clearly, this was genuine original comic art. Viewers were desperate for Lily to show them, but the moment they saw it, something about the characters looked oddly familiar, even though the paper was creased from folding. Hardcore comic fans recognized the character as looking like Ash from Under One Person Under Heaven. But one character alone wasn't enough proof this was the original artist's work. Still, Lily kept unfolding more and the whole chat exploded. Viewers begged for my exact address, wanting to mail regional gifts to our house. Lily wasn't a comic fan herself, so she didn't know much about that world. But from the comments, she learned these drafts belonged to one of the country's most popular comics. Meanwhile, in a luxury hotel room, Chloe lay on the bed watching the stream. Honestly, she couldn't stand Nina, who kept doubting her daughter at every turn.